Probably don't see that view out the window of a Corvette too often, huh? Anyway guys, welcome back to another video. I'd like to showcase this very unusual interior of this car that it means a lot to me. I've had this car for a long time. I haven't showcased it on the channel because I don't have a place to store it, and I don't really work on it because it just works too good as it is. But let's get into what this car is. Why is it so red? And let's just talk about it a little bit. We'll see where this video goes. I don't quite have a game plan with what I want to talk about, but you'll see in the title probably what I decided to talk about most. So let's get into it. Well, I still have a little bit of light left. The sun's just about to go over that hill. First of all, I'm out at this absolutely incredible spot. I'm not telling you where it is because it's my favorite place ever, and I don't want everybody to come here. Anyway, this is my 1979 Chevrolet Corvette. Not much in the way of this thing is special when it comes to Corvettes, but I love it. It's special to me. That's the important part. As you saw in my beginning clip, interior is red, exterior is red, very red car. This is a 1979. Fun fact, if you're a nerd like me, 1979 is still the year that the single, how do I say that? 1979 was the year that the most Corvettes were produced in a single year to date. Still, that lasts until this day. I don't know the number offhand, but it was a lot. So, this car, 3-speed automatic. Only about 15% of Corvettes in this year came in a manual. So having a 4-speed one of these is a very special thing to have. So if you do, hang on to it. But this thing's got its bumps and bruises, a few that I've added and most that came with the car. You can see the paint in a lot of spots isn't perfect, but it's a great cruiser. So I think what I'd like to talk about the most with this car is, should you buy one? If you're interested, if you're in the market for one, you got a good deal on one, should you be buying one? So, a few things I'd like to go over with that. If you're a tall person, no. Let's get in the car real quick. Oh. So since all you guys were getting mad at me in my last video that I didn't disclose how tall I am 5'11", okay? That's what it says on my license. That's the number that we're going with here. So, in this car, no adjustable backrest, seats just flip forward, inherent thing with old cars, I'm sure you know that. I sit very close to the seat being all the way back. I can drive it with the seat all the way back. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I'm 5'11". I can reach the pedals just fine. And I don't have too much room. I mean, you know, I got some fluff with the hair going on here, but if you're a tall person, if you're pretty into the 6 foot above range, probably wouldn't suggest this car for you. We'll look down the other way toward my feet. This thing, it's just small. So, adjustable telescoping steering wheel, which is pretty convenient. The thing that I've always said is funny with this car is the windshield sits so close to the steering wheel that when I have the wheel up high enough, if I would go to wave to someone, you hit the windshield. There's almost no dashboard. There's nothing in the way of storage. There's no cup holders, window controls. This whole thing is, I mean, this would be for the 4-speed. This plate would come out. Ashtray, heater controls. This has an aftermarket radio that was already put in probably the 80s. Gauges, vents, tach in this car specifically doesn't work. Speedometer, lights, wipers, horn. It's a very fun little horn, but I'm in a very quiet place here, so I'm not gonna do that. But there's almost nothing in this car. There's a door pocket on each side that flips out, and oh, the glove box for storage. That's all you got. Also, one of the funniest dimensions that I've found for this car is that if I'm sitting in my upright driving position, I can touch the driver's door. That's how small it is here. You are up against the driver's door. There is no space in here. Like putting your arm out the window, my wrist can go up to, it's comical because this car is large. The hood is, you could land a helicopter on the hood of this car and it's so small in here. It's absolutely awesome. It's just one of those things that absolutely makes you, if it doesn't make you smile, you're silly, okay? Big bonus with these cars is they look the same for a long time. So if you find a 77, you find a 79, you find the early 80s, they're all kind of the same car. I'm pretty sure every single one of them has T-tops. And if you want to take the T-tops out, like you rightfully should if you own a car like this, that's it. The top is out. There's one latch, and these things are just plastic and fiberglass. They weigh about 10 pounds a piece, maybe. Then they just clip right back in. That's it. Like, practicality, I daily drove this car for about a week at one point. It did it. You know, it's a car. It serves the purpose of a car. I was just driving to and from work. I wasn't carrying anything or stuff like that. So I only did it because I had to. Didn't want to, but I did daily drive this car and it worked great. It started up, drove, stops. If you persuasively ask it to stop, it will do so. But there's nothing. I mean, it's a 45-year-old car at the end of the day. So before I get too off track, let's just go over the rest of the interior. These late C3 generations have this big bubble window. So it's raised up to the roof line and it slopes in like a fastback style. So this big bubble window is less desirable in the looks department. The earlier ones would have the buttress, flying buttress maybe, back window, be a flat back window right here, and you'd still have this hatch, there's no hatch space. Behind the seat space that would be a trunk, you would have that here, except it would only be at the height of the bottom of the back window. So this is much more practical and usable. I have had somebody sit back here, not suggested, don't do that, but there has been 3 people driving around in this car just for fun. Yeah, nothing else really too interesting in here. Oh, excuse me, for storage, there is also a storage compartment behind the passenger seat. There's a very small one in the center. My bag is covering it up. And the battery is behind the driver's seat. Very inconvenient to get to, but at least it's out of the way. It helps the weight distribution a little bit. Let me see how well I can show you this. Well, bear with me, I'm being a contortionist really quick. But that has the jack. It has the 3 fake knockoffs because I don't have 4, so I have them in there. And one little storage compartment, and then that's the battery under the rest of my camera stuff. So I guess I didn't give this car enough credit. Considering it has 2 seats, it actually has a pretty decent amount of space because the rest is taken up by seats. Oh, before we get out of the inside of the car, the visibility in this thing. Forward, acceptable. Well, let's do it. Do it live action with me. My camera is directly at my eye level. I cannot see the ground directly in front of the car for probably about 20-25 feet. I don't know if this is just a specific example of it, but this mirror has never adjusted correctly since I bought it. All you can see in it is this little shoulder of the car, and the rest that's out here is just not helpful. Rear view mirror in the center of the car is great. The whole back of the car is about 2 feet long. You can see the ground. I'm backed up right to the water, and the edge of the water is just about visible. And that passenger side mirror, I pretty much just forget it. If you're changing lanes or something, you're much better off to look this direction. There's a lot more space back there. I think that's enough for the interior, so we can go over the engine, give a good look at the exterior, and then I think oh, I gotta give a few more tips on if you should buy this car or not. So far, if you're tall, just save yourself, just don't do it. If you really want a performance car, you know, you think Corvette is quintessential. Corvette is quintessential with the performance vehicle industry. This one is not. This does not fall under that same category. This is a cruiser. This thing has a staggering, though it looks like a spaceship, and the hood opens the fast direction for a hood to open. 350 cubic inch V8, 3-speed, automatic, like I said. This thing, being that it's a 1979 with fuel economy and whatnot, you know, things were changing in 1979. This 350 cubic inch small block V8 makes 195 horsepower, excuse me, made 195 horsepower at one time, and that time is long gone. So nothing too interesting to look at under here. AC system is gone. It's like every single other one of these that you could possibly ever expect to see. But that's pretty much all you need to know about that car. Probably my favorite thing about this car is the center fuel fill location, because you can pull up to either side of the pump. It's by far the most convenient thing about this car ever. You never have to worry about what side it is that you can pull up on the pump, because it's the same distance from either side. This glass does not open. Incredibly inconvenient thing about this car is that everything that you want to put right in that spot that you can see right here has to go in through the door. So granted, once you open the door, you fold the seat down, you get a pretty good area back there. I mean, I have a backpack, a hoodie, a tripod, my microphone stuff, and it barely looks like there's any space taken up. And there is a partition that I can't reach, rolls out from the back and hooks up here. Goes without saying, cool parts of this car, pop-up headlights, have to, fantastic. Looks of this car is probably the most entertaining portion of it. The part that will get you the most cool factor out of this is just the way that it looks. I'll close the hood in a second, but I like it with the hood up because it triples the height of the car. But anyway, also unusual hood latch, just a prop. So very hard to close the hood with one hand, but that's okay. At least there's nothing mechanical, nothing replaceable with the hood that you would have to worry about a strut failing or something like that. Just something that keeps it with the time, I think, very well. I should not have parked so close to the water. Why did I? Anyway, so let's get a better look. I mean, would you just look at it? Would you just look at it? This thing's awesome. The paint on this car, I believe there is a respray on it at some point in its life, but when I found this thing, it had sat for about 25 years. I put a battery in it. I've tinkered with a couple things, but I've driven it in pretty much the exact same condition. Battery, brakes, and gas. I got this thing back on the road after 25 years, and now I get to take it to cool places like this. So I think, personally, with this car, I think I've given you a pretty good overview. It's not fast. It sounds pretty mild. You can make it silly, but it's a 350 small block. It's a pretty quintessential sound. It's pretty done over. You're not making anything interesting with this car as far as sound goes. Looks are by far the most interesting part. It's not fast, 195 horsepower. Who knows what it makes now? Much less than 195, I can only assume. But this thing it's just fun. If you want a cruiser and you can find a good deal on one of these, or maybe you just love them. I hated them before I saw this one with 4 flat tires, covered in dust, sitting pushed up against the wall of a 1.5 bay garage where it had been its tomb for the previous 25 years. There are definitely some convenient things. If you're tall, steer clear. But if you're just looking to get something fun for yourself, or maybe something to, you know, you and the missus or the mister, I don't judge, want to go hang out, go get some ice cream, this is awesome to do it. It's just pronounced enough that people look at it and people always point. I love seeing all the little kids smile when you drive by in a car like this, and it just catches their eye. I mean, Prince wrote a song about this car. It was this one, this exact one. I'm kidding, of course it wasn't this car. I'll drive this thing a little bit here. But should you buy a C3 Corvette? My best answer to you would of course be yes. I've had this thing for 6 years. I haven't put many miles on it. It's not an everyday car, but when you do get to drive it, smiles are the thing that I would say is the most common thing that I think about this car. You see other people smiling. I love driving this car. It's so much fun. It's just dilapidated and old enough and enough of a time capsule that it drives in a way that you have to constantly pay attention to what's going on with it. If you find the right one, if you're the right person for it, I would absolutely say that you should most definitely be interested in buying a C3 Corvette. As long as you don't have 4 people, as long as you don't expect something fast. If you want a cool cruiser that's still got a V8, you can probably get a good deal on them. There's a million of these things everywhere you look for them. I mean, they're getting more rare, they're getting dated. The ones that have stood the test of time, I think, deserve to live on. With just the amount of fun and the amount of smiles that I have and I see those around me have when this car drives by, driving this car and the people that have ridden in it. It's just fun. That's really just the name of the game with this car. That's how I would describe just the whole experience of it. I mean, I don't want to talk about too many things that are specific to this car, but if I had a Lamborghini, I probably wouldn't be parking it on a gravel boat launch next to a river. I'm just saying, but I do it with this car. I love this car, and I think that a lot of other people that could be considering a car like this should also love this car. But, so you've seen it. We can drive it a little bit. The dashboard is so small, I have no way of holding this camera, but I'll do my best. I'd love to get a sound clip of the exhaust, but I can't attach anything to the car. So anyway, we'll get driving this thing. My car specifically, the kickdown does not work, so if you want to go into first, you got to do it yourself. Let's get an acceleration here. That's what it's about. You can't see me. There I am. I lied maybe a little bit. You know, this thing, tack doesn't work too, by the way, so don't get after me for that. So I mean, it's not slow. What I should be saying is that it's not going to set any records. If you take this to your local track, you're not going to win. But you can still have a little bit of fun on some twisties. The sound doesn't really get in here, but I promise you outside of the car it does sound pretty good. You know, maybe I can get a clip of that. I could do that. So now that I've just practiced driving this section of road 10 times, oh, I'm glad I made it out of there. Let's just take a look. Can you hear me? Not really. Maybe you can. Maybe this microphone's just maxed out. This is just fun. I'm holding this up higher than my head right now, just for reference, so your visibility is much better than mine. This is not supposed to be an in-depth view of this car. I think if you're considering purchasing one, you should do it, and I think I went over a couple of the weird quirks that go along with having a car of this age, specifically of a Corvette. I hope I did a pretty good idea of that. But this is my specific example of one, so yours will probably be different. I love this thing, but like I said, I don't drive it a lot. So I think it might be time for me to let this car go, which makes me very sad saying that, because I do love it, but it does sit. So I think this specific example of my car will be going away. I've had it for 6 years. I have lots of good memories. I've had my fun. I think it might be time for somebody else to enjoy. A true survivor like this car. Just something that's really stood the test of time. A time capsule. So, thank you guys for watching another video. Thank you for coming back to HEFCO. If you've made it to this point in the video, I'd really like to ask that you just hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. There's been a few more of you lately, and I really appreciate seeing those numbers go up. It makes me feel like what I'm doing is actually worthwhile. Drop a comment, drop a like, share it with your friends, do all that stuff. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I'll be back really soon. Thank you guys. I'll see you real soon.